everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the Toy Biz Raimi Spider-Man and Hasbro Amazing Spider-Man. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. This Raimi Spider-Man has seen better days. I believe this is from the early 2000s. It is a very loved figure. I really like how all the webbing works on the body. It's really well done, at least. There is some paint issues over here though, where it's kind of messed up sometimes on the inner portions of this. It's also kind of dusty as per sitting in the back of my collection, but I really love how this head looks. The neck is really nice too. Going up to the head, there are some mishaps with paint here and there, like some actual missing portions like this, and it's just kind of scuffed a lot. Articulation is pretty good. Very G.I. Joe-like, honestly. Not much for the actual head, but for the neck, you get a lot of range. It's really awesome. The eyes look great, too. There's a scuff over here and no scuffs over here. So this is his good side, I guess, even though he had this little piece over here. But it's a really nice piece, at least, this head and neck. The body has seen a lot of love as well. I do love the sculpt work. It's wonderful. It's kind of weird on the sides, though. Very interesting. We also totally know that this is going to really actually not be that bad. It's mostly a crunch. I thought it was a swivel. There's a swivel down here that does kind of break the sculpt a little bit, but not too bad, honestly. It looks really nice and works pretty well. It's good articulation for this body. On the back, we get the spider emblem too. It's pretty neat. You have to kind of really maneuver it to make it work and fit nicely. Other than that, it looks great. The paint's pretty nice in the body, and it's all well and good. The arms may suffer from looking pretty toyetic, but they are really neat. I do like how this paint works on here, and these are just really ugly on this body. The articulation is pretty fine, I guess. Sort of a butterfly joint, at least internally. It's kind of like a snapback kind of thing. You just swivel over here. Double jointed elbow. Looks nice down here, at least with this kind of metallic sheen as well. A swivel at the wrist over here, then hinge at the wrist. But what's even more important is he can do this, and that's the signature Spider-Man whip pose. So that's amazing for this figure. 10 out of 10 just for that, but it looks really great otherwise. There's a little web shooter thing right over here and a web shooter thing over here, even though it's all internal. I'm not sure if this is a piece of it or someone stuck a pin in here, but it's pretty nice nonetheless. Good articulation for these arms. Almost forgot to mention the crotch doesn't really look that great over here. Yeah, it's kind of weird and strange. And on the butt too, that's a bummer. The legs look fine. They're Spider-Man fair. It's really nicely done though, with this sort of dappling over here. The texture is really great. We also get some nice texturing for the legs. A lot of pins everywhere though for his toes. He gets toe articulation as well, and this articulation for the foot down here. And we just swivel up here. Then further up we get the double hinge knee. Very nice. We just swivel over here as well. Swivel up here for the leg as well. Going out this far and in and up this far and back not really that far. They're okay legs. The bottom parts of the legs are much better than the tops, but yeah, it's nice. He gets 2 pegos up on the feet too. They're good legs, but not really that great. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Amazing Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man has a really strange head. It's almost lopsided in a way, like it's undercooked. It's very weird. The eyes are in a strange place. The head is sort of this weird bug, insect-like, kind of hexagonal pattern thing with a nice sort of wave of stripes, or at least indents. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird, this whole figure. It's interesting though. I do like how it's gold over here with the eyes. You also have a very prominent nose too. Some weird wash going down his neck. Is it Venom symbiote? I'm not even sure. I got this figure secondhand once again, and yeah, it's just okay. The head does swivel a little bit here and there. Doesn't really go up or down all that much. It's just fine. No real pivot either. I do like the gold eyes, but other than that, it's a really weird insectoid head. The body looks really small for this figure, and the shoulders are really terrible. Oy, I hate this thing. It's really interesting. These legs are just super long, go way down his body. This is way longer than it should be, I think. It goes all the way down to the point where if you twist his body, it ruins the effect. And yeah, it's a nice range, a decent range at least at that, but yeah, it's just okay. Back, forward, swivel, it's just not really that much for me. The back is another really probably nicely proportioned spider back here, but yeah, it's a really cool dappling effect. The paint is really good, but the sculpt is just awful on this figure. It's really terrible and horrible. The arms look nice when you pose them kind of right, and the stripe goes all the way down. Other than that, you get up, down, all the way around. swivel up here, double joint elbow up here, kind of hard to maneuver. Pins are terrible too. You go, well, you just like double joint it almost. That's really weird. Technically for a spider that would kind of work good, but I don't know. You get a swivel over here and you get a sort of like up and down motion right here with this hand. I don't know if it's supposed to hold something or not, but yeah, and there's a thwip hand right over here holding something as well. This Spider-Man figure may have come with webs, but I don't even know. Yeah, the arms are just kind of trash too. The legs look pretty good, but they're bowed and weird, and I like the colors. He's wearing tap shoes and silver for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Peg holes on the feet, down, up, pivot, pretty good. Double jointed knee, it's just okay, fair. Swivel up here, that's fine I guess. No swivel down here, that's horrible. And these stupid wide joint hips that just should have been thrown in the trash years ago don't really do all that much. Back this far, up not really that far, kind of up sort of, you swivel it a lot. Yeah, pass, just sort of trash little figure, and yeah, I'm glad they took this design to better heights in the sequel. As a positive, I gotta mention this red stripe going down the belt all the way down over here. It isn't really shown on here because it's not painted, but it looks really nice anyways if you kind of imagine it. And here are Raimi Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man next to the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man, and definitely looks way better. The proportions are much better. It's a little bit thicker and more vibrant looking. The other two were fine for its time, but now Tom Holland's time to shine. Raimi Spider-Man stands at about 5 3/4 inches tall, while the Amazing Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man stands at about the same height, but slightly shorter at closer to 5.5 inches tall. They look really nice together, along with the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and also here's Jesse Hecht Creative. Why are you all pointing at me? I just got here. I didn't do anything wrong. For the last time, get off the stage! Overall, these spiders are past their prime. Raimi Spider-Man looks really good, but suffers a lot in the articulation department. A lot of his articulation is really loose. A lot of pieces of him are basically flaking off as far as paint goes. I do appreciate how it probably originally looked, but by now it's faded and weathered. I do appreciate the amount of sculpt and paint work it took to make this figure. It must have been difficult to design, but the payoff was well worth it. Amazing Spider-Man 1 Spider-Man looks really great in the paint department, but really suffers in design. He has a lot of weird joints. A lot of his limbs don't really match up with his torso. His torso looks too short and too long at the same time. It's just a really weird design. His head looks like it's oblong and strange. I do like the gold goggles, and the blue is really striking and cool, as is some of the red parts. If you're a fan of Spider-Man and his films, you probably already have these figures, but if not, I would pass on them. There are way better figures coming out and currently out of Spider-Man in his films. But make no mistake, it's time to leave these figures in the past. So which one is your favorite? Raimi Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching and keep being creative. Stay tuned.